Welcome to the Gentleman's Guide to Gaming and the They Came From Challenge. There would be some kind of animation there, but I didn't add one. What is the They Came From Challenge? Well, in my last video about They Came From the RPG Anthology, I started talking about an idea, a brain flash that I had there and then, about what we could do with They Came From in a very exciting way. You see, way back in the mists of time, I used to be part of something called the YouTube RPG Brigade. I suppose, in a sense, I still am. Because the YouTube RPG Brigade was all about creating videos about RPGs. We reviewed them, we discussed them, we created characters, we ran games for each other. This was before social media really boomed, and yet it was also before the current balkanization of social media. So we all created videos, we responded to each other's videos, we were active in each other's comments section. It was a loose community. There were, of course, rivalries, and there were friendships. There were even marriages that came out of it. But the YouTube RPG Brigade was, I guess, a halcyon day of social media, which had its teething problems, sure. But what was most fantastic about it was the freedom with which everyone spoke about their favorite RPGs, came up with brand new ideas, worked with each other, the creativity that was on display, and frankly, the unabashed confidence of all these people with small YouTube channels, including myself, putting our faces out there and talking about RPGs at a time when it wasn't really popular to do so. And I'm not going to be able to stir up something of that magnitude again, but I'd love to see if we can do something even close with this. The They Came From Challenge. What is the They Came From Challenge? Well, They Came From the RPG Anthology, which of course is linked below, is a They Came From RPG that contains 11 different games, 11 different genres, movie and video game genres. We have in that book alone, we have westerns, we have noirs, we have space opera, we have period costume dramas and Shakespearean theatre. We have murder mysteries, we've got post-apocalypse, we've got pirate, we've got comic book superheroes, we have heist movies, and we have action movies / fighting games. That is 11 different games in one book. Just to demonstrate that They Came From is a versatile enough system that you can use the StoryPath Ultra system via They Came From to create any movie genre, any video game genre indeed. That's what we've demonstrated with this latest one, with the fighting games, in a They Came From game, and then roleplay it. These games have been playtested. You can actually see them playtested on Red Moon Roleplaying at the very least, as well as on the Onyx Path YouTube channel. So here's the challenge. Knowing that they are so easy to create, I am saying to you that I want you to come up with a They Came From. That's right, you've got to come up with a title. And that title has got to be appropriate to the genre, because that title needs to have a genre attached. So They Came From the Mean Streets is noir. They Came From the High Octane Apocalypse is post-apocalyptic Mad Max style. Okay? Next up, you need to come up with between 3 and 5 playable archetypes. Now, this might be tricky because we have ranged well over 100 archetypes in the They Came From game, and they're all crossover compatible. You can use archetypes from Beneath the Sea and Beyond the Grave and classified in wherever. You can use them all. You need to come up with between 3 and 5, ideally new ones that work within the genre you are creating for They Came From. Okay? So that is step number 2. Step number 3 is come up with 3 cinematic powers. If you're not familiar with They Came From, cinematics are meta powers. They're god powers, if you like. There's a currency in the game, it's called rewrites. If you collect enough of them, you can buy cinematics with them. And cinematics are things like inserting a missing reel. In other words, you are at death's door, you insert a missing reel, the missing reel disappears, and then all of a sudden you're somewhere else. You can't explain what happened to you, how you got there, how you survived, but there's a missing reel in the film and you got out of that situation. Likewise, deleted scene, the opposite. You can basically insert a scene where there wasn't going to be one. Summon the stuntman. replace your character with someone who is much more physically able for this scene, or indeed kill the extra. You can basically deflect a bullet that's making its way toward your heart into an extra who just happens to be cycling by. There are lots of different cinematics available, and they came from. You need to come up with 3 that are appropriate to your kind of movie, or the movie or video game industry in general. What is going to happen is this. If you come up with a video, and it doesn't matter if this is the very first video you've ever created. I mean, if you're watching this, you likely have a YouTube account. Upload a video. You've got a phone, I expect. So record yourself. Film yourself. Put it on YouTube. And then you don't need to send me a link because it'll probably wipe out your comment. But comment on this video to say, I've made a video. Please check my channel out. I will review every single video, every single They Came From challenge video that gets made. And the very best of them will get a free copy of They Came From the RPG Anthology. And I will talk about all of them on my next They Came From video. So whether this is your very first video, or whether you have been creating videos about RPGs for years, what I want to see is your involvement. I want to see you coming up with They Came From ideas. And of course, I'd love for you to pick up a copy of They Came From the RPG Anthology to inspire you. To get you started. I have long ruminated on my preferred Italian horror genre of nunsploitation. So it's finally time to come up with They Came From Beneath the Convent. I've vacillated between They Came From Beneath the Wimple or They Came From Beneath the Habit, but I think They Came From Beneath the Convent summarizes it quite nicely. So we now have a nunsploitation genre, which is likely to take place probably in a nebulous 17th century to 20th century period. It's all about the dramas, the sins, and the devil worship that occurs in convents in Italian movies. So currently we've got that going on. Now, in terms of archetypes, I can go for very easy here. I'm going to go for the novice, the mother superior, the spiritualist. I'm going to throw in the priest, and I'm going to throw in the stranger. Those are our 5 archetypes in They Came From Beneath the Convent. So we have the novice, the mother superior, the spiritualist. The spiritualist is a nun who is a true believer, not actually someone who communes with the dead, although I guess they could be both. We've got the priest, and in fact I'm going to replace the priest with the monk, and the stranger, the grizzled, handsome stranger who washes up on this convent's shores and leads them into paths of ill repute. And now we need 3 cinematics. Well, we need a cinematic that deals with suddenly the devil is going to be one of them. This is going to be a cost of 3 rewrites, and all of a sudden the devil appears. Lucifer himself. The scene can be utterly incongruous, but by throwing the devil in, all of a sudden it will throw everything onto its head. So that's 1. Suddenly the devil. Number 2, Holy Relic. An item that you have in your possession, I'm going to suggest there's only a 1 rewrite, is all of a sudden blessed, unholy. You could use it against something unholy to devastating effect. And option number 3, cinematic number 3, is going to be stilted sex scene. Stilted sex scene is a sex scene between 2 fully clothed nuns in habits, just kind of rubbing up against each other in a way that's supposed to be erotic and utterly fails. What is the purpose of this in the course of the game? Well, I would suggest that it is a way of distracting someone. Let's say a Mother Superior is looking into the thing that you and the rest of your party are getting up to. Well, it's time to activate stilted sex scene. All of a sudden, you've seduced Mother Superior. You take her off for some enjoyable frottage while the rest of the party get busy doing what they're doing. So, there's our 3 cinematics. We have They Came From Beneath the Convent. We dabbled in devil worship. We got involved in some sexploitation too. What will you come up with? I'm not going to award myself a free copy of They Came From the RPG Anthology, so come up with something. Let me know in the comments below. I will check out your channel and watch your video. And once there are sufficient numbers, I will make a video summarizing yours and pointing people to your channel, and I will pick the winner. I hope you get involved in this. This is very much an experiment. I have no idea whether anyone will respond, but please consider doing so. I would love to see your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.